was bad. Very bad.
They'll find us.
The movie starts with a typical day in Hong Kong turns into chaos when the biggest tsunami in history slams into the city, flooding streets and filling buildings. People scatter in panic, searching for safety, but the water outruns them. Only those who reach high enough floors survive, and within hours, Hong Kong loses most of its population. 5 years later, Asha still suffers nightmares from that day, but each morning she bottles up her fear and keeps going. She lives in a high-rise, now in ruins, hiding her belongings in the trash to keep them safe from enemies. For years, she scavenged anything useful for water and created hiding spots around her apartment, like a small hole under the couch cushions. Each morning, she climbs to the roof to collect clean water from a secret stash, carefully hidden. After drinking tea, she tunes into the radio but skips the government shelter broadcast in favor of music, listening through headphones to keep quiet.
We have food, shelter, and supplies. Our location is 22.27.
Then she gathers morning dew with a towel, adding it to her water stash. Asha measures her water bottles to keep track of her clean water supply, feeling anxious because it hasn't rained in a while. After finishing her chores, she eats instant noodles and remembers the beautiful restaurants and delicious meals she used to enjoy with her friends. She then uses binoculars to watch over the area, noting only the tops of buildings poking out of the water, some of which occasionally crumble away. She also checks to ensure that her few surviving neighbors are still in their apartments. Suddenly, Asha spots a box floating in the water. She quickly moves to a different window, where she set up a makeshift harpoon to scavenge. With one swift shot, she hooks the box, but as she tries to pull it in, something in the water drags the box down, causing her to slam against the window edge and injure her arm. Ignoring the pain, she pulls back hard against the unseen force, finally reclaiming the box as the creature lets go. Bringing it inside, she gets a final surprise as the creature sends a wave splashing over her. Although the box mostly contains trash, she finds a bottle of alcohol on her way back up to the roof. Asha stares at the door at the end of the corridor, then moves to the roof, visibly upset. She cleans her wound with alcohol, wraps it up, and takes a drink to ease the pain. That evening, she hears screams and looks outside to see 2 boats filled with violent scavengers attacking her neighbors. She spots a man on a nearby roof watching her building, so she quickly hides, then peeks out again. When she realizes the boats are heading her way, she rushes downstairs, hides her daily essentials, covers her mattress, and scatters some dirt in the hallway to make it look lived in. She then hides behind a fake wall in a closet, holding her breath as the scavengers enter her room, searching for food and even checking the closet. They don't find anything, but she jumps when she hears a gunshot. A boy accidentally fired, thinking he saw something move. After the group leaves, Asha cries in relief and calms herself with a comforting memory. Before the tragedy, she had met her half-sister for the first time, and they'd gone out for a meal to bond. The next day, Asha finds another box, and among the junk, she's thrilled to discover a jar of honey. But her joy fades when she sees a body floating in the water. Later, while Asha is busy, someone sneaks in and starts taking things from her secret spots. Asha hears a noise, but doesn't see anyone, so she ignores it. When she gets ready for bed, she hears another noise, grabs her flashlight, and investigates, but finds nothing again. She decides to leave the soap out to finally catch the intruder, who turns out to be a little girl. Asha grabs her shoulder, but the child kicks her and runs off, taking more things, including Asha's lamp. She heads down the corridor, but hears Asha coming and leaves before reaching the mysterious door. That night, Asha dreams about shopping for her sister's birthday and telling her best friend how eager she was to leave her parents' house.
Thought we were shopping for your sister's birthday.
Half-sister. I am staying at yours.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? You're still hiding the fact that you have a boyfriend? You're 24. Ugh.
When she wakes up, she notices part of her food stash is missing. Following a trail of wrappers, she finds the girl sleeping with her lantern. She decides not to wake her and goes to cook instead. When the girl finally wakes up, she starts searching for more hidden compartments. In a fake outlet, she finds an envelope with pictures of Asha and her sister, but gets caught red-handed. The child runs away, and Asha quickly puts the pictures back without noticing she drops one. Later, she makes another portion of noodles and brings it to the child. As she recalls her sister's birthday dinner, Asha remembers their parents gifting her sister the family necklace, which angered her as the first child. They argued, and Asha ended up leaving. Now, in the present, Asha wears that same necklace. The girl ignores Asha's food offer, so Asha leaves it next to her and walks away. The child eventually eats it all. Moments later, she notices Asha also left a mattress for her. She doesn't use it, but the next morning, she returns everything she stole from Asha. At lunch, Asha prepares 2 portions of noodles again, leaves one for the girl, and eats on the roof. The child soon joins her, mimicking her actions, which makes them both laugh and bond. Asha feels the happiness of her old life return. That evening, the girl finally accepts the other mattress and sleeps beside Asha. When she starts crying, Asha reassures her that it's okay to cry and be scared. The girl misses her family, but believes she'll see her mom soon because she's building a boat to find them. She also mentions her name is Hay. After a night full of nightmares, Asha takes Hay to the roof to go through their routine. Hay starts playing with the door and removes the tape Asha put on the lock. When the door accidentally shuts, they get locked out. Asha is frustrated, but Hay quickly picks the lock and opens it again. Later, while Asha is preparing a new meal, she notices her necklace is missing. Just then, she hears noises outside and looks out the window to see scavengers nearby. She asks Hay to stay silent until they leave. Later, while Asha helps Hay get clean, the girl asks her to leave together, but Asha refuses, saying this is her home and there's nothing out there. Asha then asks Hay if she took her necklace, but Hay denies it and, offended, runs to another apartment. In the evening, Asha eats dinner alone and notices some water is missing. She investigates and finds out Hay took it to wash. This triggers another memory for Asha, hearing about a typhoon heading toward nearby countries and arguing with her mother, who wanted her to marry and be a good wife. That night, Asha's nightmares worsen as she sees bodies floating in the water. When she wakes up, she briefly mistakes Hay for her sister. Later, Asha shows Hay how to handle the building's electricity, but Hay interrupts, asking about the door at the end of the corridor. Asha tells her to ignore it, warning that the room smells terrible and opening it would spread the stench everywhere. Another memory surfaces, showing Asha watching news of Singapore's total devastation by floods. Her mother turned off the TV, mentioning an upcoming family meeting, but Asha couldn't go. They argued again, and Asha told her family they made her feel like a prisoner before leaving the apartment.
Amma, that was important.
You will go.
Well, maybe I don't want to be a part of this family.
Okay. Then you go find another family.
Fine, I will.
Go.
This place is like a prison anyway.
Back in the present, Hay hears a message on the radio about a shelter and hurries to Asha, urging her to go there. Asha refuses, saying it's too dangerous to go outside. They argue, and Hay calls Asha bitter and angry before storming out. Following her into the other room, Asha finds Hay building a raft out of trash, holding a flare gun. Asha quickly takes the flare gun from her and makes a confession. Some time ago, she tried to leave, but the situation outside was so terrible that she had to come back. After reconciling, Asha remembers her sister following her out of the apartment after their fight with their parents, begging her not to leave. Asha explained it was time to move out, but promised they would still hang out. The next morning, it finally rains, so Asha and Hay rush to the roof to gather as much water as they can and store it. While working, Hay notices that Asha's necklace has fallen off. Asha then finds a photo she left behind, and memories flood back, overwhelming her. Hay comforts her, reminding her that they still have each other. When Asha goes to bed, she finds her necklace under her pillow and realizes it fell because the clasp broke. Feeling guilty about how she treated Hay the next morning, Asha works tirelessly and finally builds a raft. Hay gets excited, and Asha remembers the night of the argument. Her sister had tried to tell her she'd left the necklace in Asha's jacket, but suddenly, a huge tsunami swept through the streets, sending everyone into a panic. Back in the present, Asha decides to give the necklace to Hae. Later, they gather supplies and prepare the raft to leave. Hae listens to the radio, but the headphones accidentally disconnect, making the music echo loudly in the room. Asha rushes to turn it off, but then they hear scavengers approaching outside. Panicked, they hurry to hide their personal belongings. Asha pushes Hae into a small hole behind the fake closet wall, but it only fits one person, so she plans to hide in the stinky room. The scavengers enter through the window, and Asha barely makes it into the stinky room in time. Inside, she finds old family photos since this used to be her apartment. The scavengers search violently, smashing everything they find, including the raft. One of them enters the stinky room, gagging at the smell. As he removes some sheets, he discovers the bodies of Asha's parents and vomits. Asha holds back tears, remembering the tragic night when a powerful wave destroyed everything, killing people instantly. In her flashback, she tried to lead her sister up a building's stairs, but the panicked crowd followed, pushing them forward. In the present, the scavengers take the food and find Asha's photos. One boy notices something odd in the closet and, with the help of others, moves the fake wall and captures Hae. Asha overhears this from her hiding spot, triggering another flashback. She remembers her sister tripping and getting trampled while Asha, unaware, continued to the roof alone. Suddenly, Asha hears Hae, frightened, reveal her hiding place. The scavengers find her and knock her out. She wakes up tied up, and one of the foreign scavengers approaches her, but the leader calls him away. They take Hae and the supplies to the scavenger's boat, then drag Asha out. Looking at Hae reminds her of her sister, and she realizes she can't abandon him. She pulls on the rope, but a scavenger yanks it, making her fall into the water. Spotting a broken CD nearby, Asha grabs it and attacks him, but he tries to drown her. After a struggle, she reaches the flare gun in her pocket and fires, killing him. The other scavengers hear the noise and rush back into the building, but they don't see Asha. As the group splits up to search, a big guy hears her crying and follows the sound, but it's all part of her trap. She trips him with a rope and then beats him to death with a guitar. She takes his knife and moves to another room to turn on the radio. Another scavenger hears the music, and as he approaches, Asha jumps on him from behind and stabs him. He fights back, throwing her onto a mattress and trying to choke her, but she manages to grab the knife and stabs him repeatedly until he's dead. The female scavenger hears a noise and finds a can with fire inside. Asha surprises her by splashing oil on her and pushing her into another room, setting her on fire and blocking the door. The leader hears the screams and heads towards the stairs, where Asha leaps at him, stabbing him. They struggle, and the leader lands a few hits before trying to choke her. Asha fights back, breaks a light tube, and uses the darkness to beat him to death. She turns on her flashlight, but the boy shows up and fires at her, so she runs to the roof. The boy chases her outside, but Asha traps him on the roof by shutting the door and removing the tape. He begs for help with an innocent voice, and Asha hesitates, but then he starts shooting at the door, so she leaves. On the boat, the last scavenger stands guard. Asha uses her harpoon device, but she misses, and it falls into the water. When the scavenger checks the noise, she uses the chance to push him off the boat, but he grabs her, and they both fall in. Desperate, Asha dives in to save her, and the man resurfaces nearby, only to be eaten by a sea creature. After a few moments, Asha and her friend resurface safely, climb back on the boat, and sail away with the stolen supplies that will keep them going until they find shelter. That night, Asha finally sleeps without nightmares. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and press the bell icon for more amazing videos. See you next time.